This Christmas, if you have some weight worries or health concerns that are really dampening your enjoyment of this festive season, you are not alone. And I want to share with you 3 very simple mental shifts that have helped not only me over the course of this year, but many of my clients when it comes to food, and especially this time of year, festive food. So it has been a real shift for me this year and many of my clients from really alleviating or elevating myself above this idea of discipline. Somebody said to me this year, you are so disciplined when it comes to your health. And I was like, do you know what? Actually, it's not discipline, because I'm probably not a very disciplined person. But one thing I am is very devoted to my health and my longevity. And that has been such a big shift and a profound energetic shift, and made looking after my health so much simpler, dare I say it, more effortless and easy when I've moved from discipline, which is very much more around restriction and denial, to one that's very much more around devotion, which means it's all about love and passion. So this has been the biggest shift for me, and there have been 3 little things that I wanted to share with you to really help ease you on your journey. If this is something that's going to be worrying you this Christmas, let alone in 2025, then perhaps these 3 little ideas or mental shifts or shifts in your focus can really help you, and especially help you with your enjoyment this Christmas. So the first one I wanted to share with you was really around that word discipline. Really just bring some awareness to yourself where you've started to impose some of your own restrictions on what you're eating, or perhaps even where you've put in some really strong things that, like, you're saying, I should do this workout and I should go for this run and I shouldn't eat that and I should do this and I must do. It's almost like you're beating yourself over a stick, and nobody likes to be beaten up and told what to do. I certainly don't. So this is about this real beautiful shift from discipline and denial to actually one of empowerment. Give yourself a choice. Really start to bring that beautiful awareness. Use the principles of mindfulness to bring that mindfulness awareness to, how am I feeling? Why am I eating this? What am I eating? What do I hope to achieve from going on this run or eating this dish? Is this all about, is this going to give me the energy that I want? Is this going to give me the enjoyment and the pleasure that I desire? Or is this going to bring me one of guilt and shame? So bring this level of real, beautiful choice and empowerment to everything that you're doing, and bring it into that mindfulness of, I'm doing this because I choose to do this because. So take a moment and shift from this denial and should to I want to, I'm deciding to, I'm choosing this. First mindset shift, or first energetic shift at least. The second thing I wanted to talk about was really around this word devotion. When you start to shift from discipline and rigid to devotion, there's a softening. There's this really beautiful softening and a real, almost like, shift to the long term. Rather than focusing in on the moment, which I love, this is very much about what can I do in the moment for the longer term. So this is the devotion to my health over the long term. This isn't short-term gains. This is long-term longevity, health, vitality. This is fuel for my body. This is fuel for my mind. This is so that I can be around for my children for a really long time. And this really has shifted things for me to help me understand, actually, I am so devoted to looking after my physical body so that I can enjoy my life for as long as I possibly can, so that I can be around for my children, so I can continue to do the work that I love, so that every single time that I'm going to a party, I can be there and dance, and I've got the energy and I've got the vitality and I've got the fun and I've got everything. This has been a huge shift, shifting from that discipline to one of devotion. And not only this, I choose this, but I want to, and I love this, and I've got a really strong reason why this is important. So that can be really powerful mindset shift. Why are you doing this? For the longer term. This is what devotion is going to give me. Devotion to my health, to myself, my strong reason why. And the third thing that I've really learned is that, having had and been a really long-term sufferer of body dysmorphia, which is really looking in the mirror and only seeing the flaws and being so incredibly critical about myself, was actually, I can now see this as a gift. Because when I started to recognize, and once again bring that principle of mindfulness in, recognize that this is what I was doing, that I was hating on myself, that I was bringing this level of self-loathing to every single thing about myself, it was no wonder I did not enjoy my life. And this awareness of this awful self-talk and self-loathing and self-sabotaging enabled me to recognize and just say, do you know what? No more. I'm no longer going to talk to myself like that. I would never say those things to a friend. I would never say those things to one of my children, my nieces, my goddaughters. And I would be so distraught if I understood or heard them speaking about themselves like that. So why am I allowing myself to speak to myself like that? And I always come back to one of my favorite quotes by Wayne Dyer that says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I was like, oh, I need to change the way I look at myself. And very, very intentionally, I started to look in the mirror and I started to recognize that I could see things that I loved about myself. And I taught myself to talk about myself to myself in a much, much better way. And I started to change the way I saw myself. And you can do this too. It takes time and it takes practice, but you will never, ever change the way you feel about yourself from a place of self-loathing or hatred. The way that you are going to change the way you see yourself is one through the eyes of love. And that is one of the biggest gifts that you're going to be able to give yourself this Christmas, is to start to see yourself through that lens and those eyes of love. Now, if any of these three things have brought up something for you and you want to really make some big changes, please do comment below health, and I will send you some more of my practical tools and tips to help you with your health and with your enjoyment of looking after your health for the rest of this year and the rest of your life. Just leave me that word below or come and find me in your DMs if you've got questions, and I will happily talk about this forever.